A warm welcome to my YouTube channel, my friends. In today's video, we'll be learning the differences between guided and unguided media in networking. So, we will be understanding the foundations of the basic data communication. So, the first one is the introduction to transmission media. We all know transmission media refers to the physical pathways we use to transmit the data from one device to another in a network. However, guided and unguided media are the two types of transmission media, wherein guided means that we use wired networks and unguided means we use wireless networks. So the importance of these is that it is used for efficient data transfer, and this efficient data transfer relies on the proper selection of the transmission media. Most of the data transfer uh, decides whether it's done perfectly on the basis of what type of transmission media we have used. So the first one is the guided media. Here is an overview. So the data signals in the guided media are transmitted through a physical pathway as told earlier. So for example, we have twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, fiber optic cables, etc. So the characteristics of a guided media is that it has high security, so there is less data loss. We also have a controlled path for signals, so we don't lose control for the data, and it is suitable for long or short distances depending on the type of cable we have used. So the types of guided media are of three kinds. So the first one, as we saw, was twisted pair cables, wherein two insulated copper wires are twisted together, used in telephone lines and LANs. And the second part is the coaxial cables, wherein a core conductor is surrounded by insulation and shedding. So this is used in cable TV and broadband networks. The third one, however, is the fiber optic cables. So these use light signals as they are optical fibers for transmission, and they have high bandwidth and long distance capability. So there is an overview for unguided media too. As told earlier, unguided media is a type of transmission medium wherein the data signals are transmitted through the atmosphere, space, or water without a physical pathway. So an example of these are radio waves, microwaves, and infrared signals. So the characteristics of these unguided media is that it is wireless communication as told earlier, and it is suitable for mobility and large coverage areas, and it is more prone to interference and security risk as there is no proper control in the network bandwidth. So the three types of unguided media as told earlier are radio waves, microwaves, and infrared waves, wherein the radio waves are long range communication for FM radio and mobile phones, which is omnidirectional transmission. Then we have microwaves. These microwaves are used in satellite communication and radar. It is also required for line of sight. So there is also infrared waves, wherein short range communication is carried out using TV remotes, which is a great example for the infrared waves. We cannot penetrate these waves through walls. Here is a comparison table between guided and unguided media, wherein we have the aspects, that is physical pathway, security, interference, cost, and distance. So in case of guided media, physical pathway is required. However, unguided media does not need any physical pathway. And in guided media, there is high security, whereas in unguided, there is low security. and the interference is minimal in guided media and high in the unguided media. So the cost generally depends on the material used for the signal's transmission. However, the guided media depends on the material, whether it's a coaxial cable or twisted wires. However, in unguided media, it is generally lower as we do not use a controlled pathway, since it is usually transmitted through air, space, or water, but not a physical pathway. So the distance is limited or is controlled using guided media, whereas using unguided media, we can cover large areas possible. So the applications of a guided media are that it is used in local area networks, LANs, cable TV distribution and broadband communication, undersea communication cables, and high speed internet communication, that is fiber optics. Then we have the applications of unguided media, wherein satellite and cellular communication is carried out. Wi-Fi networks and IoT devices also use unguided media. Bluetooth, short-range devices, and broadcasting like TV and radio will also use unguided media. So the key takeaways are that guided media is ideal for secured, controlled, and high-speed communication. However, unguided media will also offer mobility and broad coverage at the cost of increased interference. So the future trends in these transmission medium is that the emerging technologies like 5G, which has already arrived, and the advancements in fiber opticals are pushing down the boundaries of both these types of guided and unguided media. That's all for today, my friend. I will come back with more such content. Until then, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.